Tayu, depending on where you are, I greet you. Nusiemi betwabumbote bana bayisolele. Molweni abantwana abanguni. Mpo salama watoto wa Mungu. Dumelang, sawubona, muliburunji. Mwagarata. Yes, in the circle, we open with peace. In the spiral, we call truth. In the triangle, we anchor purpose. And today, we align with Carolyne Muka, FESTAC Africa GBV Ambassador, voice of Work for Hope for Africa, and one who walks into fires so that others can heal. Your Excellency,
Hello, everyone.
welcome.
Thank you so much, Mudamaki Wakiragu. It's such a pleasure being on your platform today, and congratulations on the work you're doing. May God continue to bless you and expand your territories. You have done a great job introducing me. I am Carolyne Muka, the FESTAC Africa Ambassador for GBV. It's a pleasure being here today, and I hope we have a lovely conversation. Looking forward to it.
The pleasure is all ours. The pleasure is all ours. So tell us, and please, before we even proceed, do you prefer if I call you Muka or I call you that name that not many know you by?
You can
That's
call
with
me
a T.
Muka. You can call me Titia. It depends on your preferability and which one is easy for you to pronounce.
Well, I give honor where honor is due. So Your Excellency will serve because you are an ambassador after all, and what you're doing surpasses any political seat. So Your Excellency will do.
Thank you.
So, Your Excellency, what was the first ripple? That moment when you knew silence was no longer an option for you?
Well, there's no timeline to when, because I was born and GBV was already existing. And as an individual, I'd say to the point when I realized that I am no longer safe and I can't even rely on my family members to protect me. I'm not speaking for me as an individual. I'm speaking for countless of women out here who have been abused, not just women, but men as well, not by strangers, but the people closest to them. And I think it is great that we bring it to light, we educate people, and we create awareness on gender based violence. And the people should know it's not only women that are being affected, men are being affected as well.
Just as a follow up, would you say it was a wound, a witness, or a whisper that woke you?
Can you come up again?
Would you say it was a wound, a witness, or a whisper that woke you? Just as a follow up question.
All right, not a witness, not a wound, not a whisper. It is definitely something that has been within me, because all that I wish for our continent and for every home state is love, peace, joy, prosperity, where someone can be free to be whoever they want, whenever they want, and be able to correlate with each other. It is sad that we're not able to do that. So it is a calling from within humanity. I didn't have to see it happening to anyone, but I think the answer that would weigh so much amongst the options that you've given me would be witness, because we have seen the fabric of our families being torn apart. And it is sad indeed that this is the time that our kids are being raised in. But yeah, so we are here to make the change, and I'm hoping our viewers will be with us and hold hands together to ensure that there is peace, freedom, and humanity.
All I heard is that you're a prophet that has seen a brighter future. And you're working towards that. We honor you for that. So, how did FESTAC find your frequency? Or were you already walking its path before the meeting?
Wow, this is a beautiful question because until 2023, I didn't know about FESTAC, but I definitely knew I wanted a people who would rise together to ensure that Africa unites, that Africa realizes its potential, and Africa understands the journey that it's in. When I was invited to attend the launch of Africa, a FESTAC Africa Festival in Kisumu in 2023 October, I didn't know what I was expecting. But when I heard the voice of Miss Engineer Yinka Biori, when I heard the vision that they had, when I quickly looked into the social media, I saw the work they've done, and God, I was the happiest person on earth. I was just a normal audience, but I was really intrigued by what they were doing. So I reached out to the CEO. If there was any way that I could help them to achieve whatever they wanted to achieve in Kisumu, Kenya that year, I was very ready for it, and this is where it landed with.
So, for you being a gender-based violence ambassador, it's not a badge; it's a vibration. How how does this vibration live in your day to day?
Well, in my day to day, actually, I'm surprised you asked that question, but it is something that I've been thinking about even yesterday. Is that for my vibration right now is people to realize their self worth, to realize their power, because only when you are secure and safe with your own self can you take action. It takes someone to do self realization, to check their limits with emotions, how much they understand themselves, how well they can take it when they are under pressure. Because what we must agree to is people are not the same. Not everyone will walk in the right path as you, and people might cross your path. Are you able to sit with that? Are you able to make peace with that? Because the first item is for you to be at peace with yourself, then you can make peace with others in anything that you do. That's it.
Indeed, and you brought it up about walking the path. Walk for hope for Africa. What is the heartbeat? Tell us.
All right. Work for Hope for Africa signifies the unity when all of us come together. What I cherish most about people coming together, which is clearly visible in African homes, especially during meal times. The meal times, everyone is around, especially during a celebration of Christmas, the entire neighborhood or village are in the spirit. You're sharing food. I don't know if that was your home when you were growing up, but definitely that is definition of African love and working together. So work for Hope for Africa, since we are from different parts of the countries, of the continent, of the world, all of us come together for one cause so that we work, signifying that the strides that we will be making, each step is going to be in unison for the betterment of our continent. And the main thing that we'll be championing is the creating awareness of GBV, which has torn the fabrics of the African humanity. And also, it is just a way of affirming people. You know, there's that beauty in action. When you stand together with people and you're working with people, you get to network with them, but at the same time, you feel that your heart is not like beating very fast, but it's skipping a bit because it's something that is unique and has a lot of power within it. Come and experience that, then you can tell me what you feel. I can only tell you that, but you will confirm it yourself.
Well, some of these things you only have to experience to understand. As you may well know, I was with you in Kisumu. Uh, FESTAC has always been close to my heart. And forgive if you hear some background noise. I am doing this interview from home, and There might be a bit of background also. Forgive me for that. I am a family man and as such. So we've always had this narrative where when we talk GBV, most allude to the girl child. But you're one of those changing the narrative, you know? How do you bring men and boys, not just as bystanders, but as warriors of protection, you know, and respect?
All right, thank you for that question. So, yes, gender based violence is not only on women, and the stereotype has been if any time someone hears GBV, it's all about women. And even during last year's festival, most people were asking questions. Okay, you've been defending women a lot. There's Women Summit, there's now this GBV, there's girl child education. What about the boys? The thing is, people do not understand that gender based violence includes all gender, not just women. It's not a women based violence. And what I'm doing about this as FESTAC Africa, we bring together organizations that are working towards eradicating GBV through creating awareness, data collection, and studies that have been made across the continent and all over the world. Among us, one of our partners would be Life After Abuse Foundation, which is based in Nigeria. The CEO is Miss Halima Layeni, and she is one of the beautiful women who are protecting the male child. They're out there to defend the boy child, their mental wealth. They're creating awareness about the violence that they're experiencing. Now, men have been known to not open up the challenges that they experience because they've been living in a society where the man is not supposed to cry, the man is supposed to be so strong like a rock. But you see, it is time that, like in the beginning, I said, self realization, learning who you are, understanding who you are, and being able to express your feelings instead of bottling them up, because then the outrage comes out and you might not even like what you would do. You would even be surprised at what you did. So it's about getting deep inside yourself as an individual, whether you're a man or a lady. That's it.
Indeed, like you you keep unraveling depths to what you're doing. And on that note, you know, you're knee deep into this war. You know the scars. You know where it pinches. You know where the bombardment is coming from. So, which wall is highest right now? Is it the culture? Is it the law? Or is it the fear from the victims?
Hmm. Right now, it is really, really difficult to point out which one is the highest wall. Because in the beginning, we were mostly dealing with culture, that is on FGM, and stereotypes about women. So women are not supposed to work, women are not supposed to be in meetings and like be in leadership spaces. But right now, if you look at the statistics, especially with femicide, this has been the top most in almost all of our countries. There is sexual violence. So you can imagine, is sexual violence part of culture? In African tradition, sexual violence is not tolerated. If you are found, then you would be stripped naked, you would be caned, and you will be made to walk round the village, and you will be banished from the village. Was that about culture? No. So these are things that have been developing, and we need to understand. We need to go back to the drawing board and look at what's happening within us. So what we have found out that is on the rise is femicide, and finding their causes is not that easy because you find some have been murdered by the spouses, some is just like um, different people who are just going out on the hunt and they get these girls and they murder them. So it's not in my position to say exactly what, because we're still undergoing doing the research and doing studies and trying to find out what exactly is the cause of these killings or murders.
Indeed, let's bring it closer home. Just like yourself, I hail from Kenya, and I recently got to see something, a presentation that was done by the BBC. I don't know if you're familiar with that, somewhere in my Mahio. So, have we failed as a community? Are we just making noise, and this noise is not be heard? Is not being heard? Tell us, because you're knee deep in this war. Some of us are just observers, but we want to be in your shoes. We want to be part of this war because it involves our tomorrow. I am a father. I am worried for my children. Your Excellency.
Exactly, exactly. We have failed, without a doubt. We have failed because time and time again, we've spent time blaming men, we've spent time pointing fingers, we spent time going out in the streets without doing proper action. We have spent time electing people who do not even care about the changes. This is something you cannot tell me that only the time when the BBC came in is when some people or like everyone realized. Probably most of the numbers who were enlightened about this was during the when the BBC released the documentary. But honestly, those people who were close knew what's happening, and to the point where it is women who are involved in this. I mean, I can't even bring myself to say what was happening because it's like I'm reliving the moment and I'm just picturing everything, but we truly have failed. It is a high time that we stop pointing fingers. I am to blame in as much as the person who did that is to blame. And that is why I was saying that having people to realize who they are, having people to be safe within themselves, to respect themselves, to understand the worth of a human life before doing anything. I cannot bring myself to say, like, we point fingers to the person who did. This person was raised in a society. This person was seen going astray but was ignored. This person has been going through challenges. So you find that people get coping mechanism. This is not to justify. Nothing can justify what has happened to those kids. Nothing can justify to anything or any murder that has occurred. But we need to keep an open eye. When someone is going astray, it is our responsibility, as in the African culture, as a community, to point out and to correct the problem before it becomes worse. We have been ignorant for the longest time. We have been quiet for the longest time. And these are just consequences of our actions. It is high time we accept the reality that we are all taking part in this if we are not trying to stop it from the word go.
We are not in denial. We are, we are past the anger. We've entered acceptance. So, teachers, when a survivor steps up to you, what are the first three stones you lay on the path for them?
Well, first things that we need to understand and realize is the depth of someone's pain is different in as much as they might have gone through the same experiences. For example, an individual or a child at the age of 12 comes to you that they have been, raped. So you can imagine this kid has been raped by their relative, someone they trusted, someone who has always been there for them, and they didn't know it. They didn't know that this is wrong. They did because they were not educated about it. And then there's someone who has been abused from the word go. They felt like they do not belong. And then this happens, and another tragic one happens. So the level to which an individual is a survivor is are very different. You cannot use a definite criteria to heal someone. You have to allow them to feel within themselves and express themselves. If they want to cry, let them cry. If they're not ready to talk, let them be. But with time, just bring them close so that they can be able to realize and make peace within themselves. No one, I can say no one ever heals from such a tragic incident. But at least they find channels to hold themselves and give themselves hope and courage. So there's never a definite structure to which you can help someone come out of that incident. And it solely relies on them, their mental strength, and what they will do to make the change. There is never a definite like this one will come out 100%. You get people, but it will take them 50 years, others 3 years, others to get to a point where they can even start talking about it, to get to a point where they can even allow other, like the opposite gender, or to just interact at a close range with them. But no one feels like totally. It's not that easy.
Thank you. Now we know how to deliver fast aid, allow people to work within their timeline. If I did not get that wrong, give us one small victory. We can't just have the sadness. One victory. That moment you knew, okay, now I'm making an impact. We have saved this one. Just give us one word of encouragement, because I am sure there is another lady out there, there's another gentleman out there watching you. They want to do exactly what you want to do. And as you very well said, as Africans, we all about umuntu, ngumuntu, gabantu, ubuntu. I am because you are, because we are. So one victory for you, from you. Sorry, Your Excellency.
All right. So I'd say there's been quite a number. Number one that I think stood out to me is last year during the 16 days of activism. Before that, there was African Women Day, and in the Maasai community, the men were working hand in hand with the activists and doing away with FGM, with the practice. They were not keeping silent, and they were taking action on those people who were still practicing it, educating them. Because first, it's to get to the society. I'm a Turkana, but I can't just move from my community, go to the Ma community and tell them, do this and do this. This is wrong. You have to first let let them within themselves understand the consequences or things that are going to come out of the actions that they're doing. Let them internalize and let them come out of it. Of course, that takes time, but I'm glad that up to this point, some people are accepting it. And also, there's been a lot of organizations that I'd say it is not an individual work, it is about teamwork. In this journey, it is not about individual work. In as much as I can be a perpetrator, I can move from here to South Africa or to Nigeria or to Cameroon, and I'll continue doing my evil practices of femicide or probably child trafficking, But when everyone stands tall and decides that this is not my own war to fight, we have to join hands, then I believe we're getting somewhere. And I'm so happy that there's many organizations that are really trying their best, especially at the grassroots level, to ensure that they are doing away with this. It is not an easy one because the civil society, the laws, the policies, they're not doing as much justice as we would love, but we are getting somewhere.
Let's break the mythology. Let's break the misconceptions. We talk of gender-based violence. We cannot ignore the gender disparity. But how do we change the mindset that it's not an us versus them situation?
Well, this brings us to FESTAC Africa and many other festivals that are held like this. Because only when you realize the beauty of unity, of coming together, celebrating together, you come to play football, you come to, just eat together, dance together, you feel the joy of being with people. One of the, I'd say, behaviors that the Gen Zs are adopting, or maybe millennials, I'm not so sure, is the idea to isolate. I'm introverted, and they get a house, they stay in the house the whole month, they've not seen anyone. When they're going out, it's just to get groceries, they're just watching movies. But the level of your dopamine, like your own well-being, it's improved when you interact with people. You get to understand that, oh, so Mr. Washira thinks like this, but I think like this. So your brain continues to evolve, and you continue to understand how different networks and different people work compared to someone who's in closed doors all through. When they get out and they're in a social environment, you don't know how they would react. They might just keep quiet, but it keeps on hurting them inside. Or they might repulse and result in something that is way worse. So I think generally is just to understand your strength, be there. Unity is what matters. Engage yourself in communal involvement. Make sure that there is an like I'm doing a program in my community where at the end of the year, probably November or December, people come together, the entire community comes together. There's people who are playing football, those who are cheering, those who are selling the snacks and water. Then the community realizes the potential that they have. Now you understand that your neighbor's kid is good at football and the other person is good at something else. They can do business. Then you can even improve as a community. And when one community does this and another adopts it and another adopts it, we are getting in a much better place, and that is the easiest way, because then a habit that is not welcomed will be easily noticed and it will be easily be done away with. That's my point of view.
Thank you, Excellency. You know, healers are, I believe every healer is wounded because we spend so much of our time trying to bring healing. So now tell me and tell us, when the shadow looms, and the days are heavy, what keeps your fire alive?
Wow, those days can be tough, and you wouldn't tell because nowadays you just try to smile and be happy because people are going through shit out there. People are going through a lot. I'm sorry for cussing. People are going through a lot out here, and you can't be the special one. So go through what you're going through. Allow yourself to experience and feel everything. If you're feeling sad, if you're feeling like giving up, just give yourself a moment, give yourself a break, go back to the drawing board. So long as you're still alive, you're breathing, you can find peace within yourself. Some days are just tough. Can't even give yourself the words of affirmation. But trust me, you will make it out. You're going to do great. So just take that moment, feel it. If you're grieving, grieve with all your heart. If you're frustrated, if you're panicking, just have that moment, then go back to the drawing board and start. Say, Caroline, we have done this. It's now time to get back up. And we have ourselves to do that. So just trust in yourself, believe in your spiritual strength, mental strength, and do it. You can do it. Everyone can do it.
And before we do your call for action, those that want to walk this journey with you, how can they interact with you? Be it socially, spiritually? Tell us. Use this time to invite people to what you do. They know what you do. Now let's see if they're willing to walk that journey with you.
Thank you. Okay, viewers, it's your time. I'm talking to you right now. I've been addressing issues. I'm sure you're well aware of this. If you want to be part of this movement, you can join, you can send an email to Caroline at festacafrica.org. But also, I believe that we are all powerful individuals. Right now, each of us have our own platforms, TikTok platforms, we have Instagram, we have just wellness sessions where you just meet with your friends. So ensure that you engage in these conversations. There is webinars. So just link or tag FESTAC Africa in all of your posts. And yeah, just send an email at Caroline at FESTAC Africa. We'll definitely find a way. This is not for
Is
people who
that
are just
is that is
assisting.
that Caroline with an Lyn?
Yes, Lyne. Yeah, so it's not about people who are in Kenya or who are in Kisumu or who are in Nairobi or South Africa or Nigeria. You are out there, you want to make a difference. It starts with you. Just make a post even about those child who are being sex trafficked or just anything. Just be out there. You can start a podcast, you can take part in the conversations wherever you are. Tag at FESTAC Africa, then all of us are united in this. Use the hashtags that have been there. Hashtag GBV awareness. Use it and you will be connected in a greater world. And your course is going to be counted in all the people who have done their part. And don't look at other people. Focus on you, do your best, and everything is going to work out well.
Thank you for that. Yes, the information was there. Connect with Carolyne Muka because Caro, Africa sees you. I see you. We are behind you. We will walk this walk. We believe in what you're doing. And may fire ants attack the souls of your enemies as they try to combat you in doing this righteous work. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I wish not to take any more of your time. I'm a gentleman, so I'm told. So I requested for 30 minutes of your time. It has been amazing engaging you. I look forward to seeing you at Ghana. I don't think we had the opportunity to interact in Kisumu because you know how it is with FESTAC. You're here, you're there, you're everywhere. So thank you for that. We continue raising the alarm, reigniting African Renaissance, happening in the good city of Accra, Ghana. FESTAC, Festival of African Culture and Art 2025. You don't want to miss it. Caro will be there. She will be doing a walk, the biggest festival of Africa. And Caro will be there with so many other like-minded. Support what she's doing. We need more warriors like this. And I don't want to spoil it because if I keep speaking, I'll just spoil every good thing that has been said. So thank you. And from Bantu Re-Education TV, we are out.